with Coach Dave Miller outside the Fairmont Firebirds locker room. Dave, we're going into week 6, looking for a victory against Miamisburg. So, first of all, if I can stop the paper from moving here. The third drive of the game was a masterpiece. 17 plays, 74 yards, and took 9 minutes, ending in the TD, the lone TD of the night. How about the effort of the offensive line, especially since not one penalty in that drive?
Well, it was great, and it shows that we're capable of doing that. We just got to be more consistent with it, and that's been our biggest issue. And we're playing against the best team on our schedule. It gave us a chance. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's how we're built. So we did a good job executing. If we could have done that more times, it's a better ball game. But we were outmatched at every position. That was a really good football team. They should not lose a game for the rest of the year, in my opinion. But we get the score down to 21-7. Holding your breath because we got to kick off to them, and of course they did take it back. Fortunately, had a penalty, but we also know we get the ball in the second half, and we started driving, and that put us back in the game. We're ready to go down there and make it 21-14 with a pretty good drive, and we fumble. Defense goes out and stops them. Fumble again. That's a ball game against good teams. So that's the story of the night, really. But no, that was positive. We can do that against Springfield. We can do it against anybody, anytime.
How often do you practice the fake punt that worked so well in the third quarter involving the up-back Trey Baker?
Quite a bit. That's something we do. It's part of our routine when we're doing punt, in practice. And Coach Feldmeyer's our punt coach and did a nice job. He saw it was there and took advantage of it. Trey kind of had two thoughts. He should have just pitched it, but he was trying to get, his 3 yards. He thought he could get 3 and did a nice job, really doing what you're not supposed to do in the option, which is pitch under duress. But Tank was out there wide open and helped extend the drive. So we were struggling at that point. So it was really good, really big for us. But
and talking about big improvements in the past, defensive allowing only 64 yards in their air against the talented trio of wideouts led by Larry Stevens.
Well, they only threw 6 times, so he was 5 out of 6. But so part of that was theirs. They're really talented. Those 2 receivers are as good as we're going to see, and the 2 running backs were really good too. So, what do you take away? We couldn't take away much. They ran the ball on us effectively. So I mean, but our defense has done a good job. What do you ask them to do with an offense like that? Us turning the ball over again? I go back to those 2 turnovers. They went out and did the job on the first one and stopped them. And we have a chance to go 21-14 going into the fourth quarter. That's all we can ask them to do against that kind of talent. I had no problem with them. So.
You'll have to excuse my squinting here because I forgot to bring my glasses with me. How did you come out of that game physically on yet another hot night? Was there any cramping taking place?
No. I think our kids have handled the heat really well here, especially it's been hot this week of practice, and they've handled it great. No cramping. We came out really injury-free for the most part. So 5 weeks where we are health-wise, I'd take it. Of course, the record's what it is, but we played really good competition. We played them tough. We're just not good enough yet to overcome our mistakes and get a win. So hopefully this week.
All right, let's move on to Miamisburg. You'll be facing a dual threat at quarterback, senior Braden Parr. Talk about the problems he poses, not only throwing, but rushing for about 50 yards a game.
Yeah, he's good. He'll scramble, and that's a big effective part of what they're doing. They're getting better each week. I mean, we watched them on film, and progressively, new system. They've gone from the wing T under Coach Chanel to, Air Schneider now with the Schneider. So they're really good coaches. We know them. We've played or coached against them in the past, and so they're getting better. They've got a good signal caller there, and he's getting better, and so it's going to be tough again. There's nobody on our schedule that we can just show up and play. We're just, so our kids know that. It's a challenge, but that presents more challenges.
Okay. Christian Davis tops the Vikings in rushing and receiving yards, and in doing so, he's only a freshman. From what you've seen, what makes him so effective?
He's a good athlete. He's a hard-nosed kid. He's going to be a playmaker. We have to deal with him for the next 4 years. But they're starting a lot of young guys, like we are. I think we're real similar in that stance. But, he's good. We're going to have to play really well on defense to keep him off the field and, move the ball. And that's our MO. We've done it, at times. But that's the best answer to a good offense. You got to keep him over on the sideline.
Okay, and finally, they've had their struggles with defense, but Connor Dye at linebacker has seen be the exception with 51 total tackles. How do you look at a way to run away from his tackling?
Well, we don't. I mean, really, numbers are a lot of what we look at, and it's not necessarily players' numbers. There's times he's good. Played last year for him. One of the few returning starters on defense, but. We're going to have to block better. We're going to have to read better, run harder, block longer. We don't necessarily look at individual players for the most part. But to say that too, I mean, there's things that he presents that give us trouble. So we'll have to take account for it.
All right, and this year. Firebirds, you're kind of in a rebuilding stage, if you will, with losing some of your seniors. Any of your freshmen or sophomores kind of working, seeing an improvement from then to now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like calling it that. I think as much as anything, it's the schedule we played. People don't realize, what we played against, and each week it's gotten better. It's like, so our margin for error is really thin. I wouldn't call it a rebuilding year at all. I think that, we replaced some guys. We're young, in the backfield on offense, but, where we made some of those plays in the past against those opponents, we're just not making them, but we're right there. So to me, a rebuilding year, sometimes you got you got to clean house and start over. I don't feel like that at all. We have a decent senior group, and they're leading, and guys like Trey Baker are playing their hearts out, Garrett Baker, and some others, and so the young guys are getting better. I mean, that guys that are having to play. Anytime you start sophomores, they have a lot to learn, and they're doing well, so they're getting better. And then our JVs lost their first game the other day to Springfield. We're on the 3-yard line on 4th down to go win it. Otherwise, we didn't get it, but we're undefeated. Freshmen are undefeated. So really the future of our program looks really bright as long as they continue to work and buy into what we're doing.
Okay, Coach. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me this afternoon, and good luck in the game.
No problem. Thank you. Appreciate it.